Welcome back to Truth Moment. I'm your host, Tiara Pritchett. I'm laughing at your face. When something is submerged in the fire, then its shape can shift. Yeah, it can shift. Welcome back to Truth Moment. It's your host, Tiara Pritchett. Today's episode is an episode that a lot of people can relate to. You know, sometimes we may not want to speak about this, but it's very real for all of us, myself personally, and especially because I recently had a baby. So the name of the episode is Body Image. So I carried my baby, did really well throughout the pregnancy, and actually only gained 15 pounds in my pregnancy. I was so proud. You couldn't tell me nothing. But then I had the baby, and then the weight came on, and I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Why am I gaining weight after having the baby? But a lot of times what happens when you nurse, you get hungry, so you get cravings all the time, and it can cause you to gain weight because the cravings can come at any time. So I brought on my next guest. She is an incredible, amazing woman that's doing so many things in the city. Only haven't been here for 2 years, but she's lighting it up already. You can say she's a woman on the rise. But without further ado, I would like to introduce Miss Ashley Danielle. Ashley's going to tell you about some of the things that she has going on here in a minute. But Ashley, welcome to Truth Moment. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me, and good seeing you again.
Good seeing you again too. So when I reached out to you and said I wanted to have a talk about body image, what did you think?
Well, the first thing that I thought was, girl, you need to go to the gym, because if she's going to be talking about body image, you need to make sure you all the way put together. But then again, I was thinking, like, it's a good subject to talk about.
Yeah.
Because of the simple fact that, especially moving here to Atlanta, it's like, that's what everybody sees. That's like amongst one of the first things people see. So I was like, that's going to be, something good to talk about. And plus, I went through a big transition not too long ago, so I was here for it.
Yeah. See, and Ashley and I, we were in passing, and we had a conversation about body image, and she showed me some pictures of her before, and seeing her and her now, like, I could not believe it. I just really couldn't. And so I wanted to know from her perspective what it took for her to get to that point, and what was her awakening moment where she said, I have to do something about this.
Right. So from the beginning, what happened, I was 356 before I started doing anything. And I went to the doctor one day, and I wasn't really taking it serious. I played basketball my entire life. I'm like, I know when I'm ready to lose weight, I can lose weight, right? Yeah. So I went to the doctor one day, and he told me that, I'm pre-diabetic. And when he told me that, I have a lot of people on both sides of my family that are diabetic. So I'm like, I don't even feel like dealing with this. At the time, I was dating a boy that had type 1 diabetes. And I used to watch him take the insulin, put it in something. And he barely doing it, but he was going through a lot. His toes got amputated and stuff. So I was like, look, I'm not going to go through all that. So that was the moment that just said, you know what, you better get it together. Because if I'm pre-diabetic, then, if I keep going down this road, I'm 356, just steady gaining weight, then eventually that's going to be something that I have to deal with. So after the doctor told me that, I was like, you know what, I need to get it together. So I went to the gym. I was going every single day. I did not take one day off. I went every single day for 6 months. I changed my diet tremendously. I went on, a lot of people call it the keto diet. I didn't call it that at the time. I just ate, my dietitian told me to do a lot of protein because it'll keep me full. So I just ate a lot of protein. And I went to the diet. I went to the gym. I did a lot of yoga, Zumba. I didn't lift weights, didn't do any of that. I just did yoga, Zumba, and then it just started dropping. Like, the first 30 days were really hard because I didn't really see a big transition at that time. But after that, it was like I was just dropping faster. So I didn't drink any alcohol, which I love a margarita, something like that. I only drank water. This was for 6 months straight.
For 6 months, you only drink water?
So when the doctor tells you that you're pre-diabetic, listen, And I'm watching people get their toes cut off, and I have family members taking insulin and stuff. I'm like, something got to change. I don't want to go through that. So I did that for 6 months, and I lost 137 pounds in 6 months. Yeah. And then after that, my husband now, which wasn't my boyfriend at the time, but my husband now was like, you're too skinny. So I got really small, really, really, really small, and he's Haitian. So he's like, you're too skinny. So I gained 30 pounds back, but I'm going back to the gym. So that's kind of like what happened.
Okay, so you mentioned that you were a ball player. So how did you, I guess, in essence, let yourself go to where you were playing basketball, you were active, healthier, and then you got to the point where you had to lose weight in order to be healthy?
Right. So my whole life I played basketball. I got so tired of playing basketball. Like, it wasn't necessarily my dream to just be in the WNBA or something like that. So after college, after I graduated college, I was like, I don't want to see a basketball. I don't want to see a gym. I don't want to see a plan of how I need to eat. I don't want to see any of that. So I just chilled for like 2 years, and the weight just came on up on me, and it just kept coming. So it was just really the fact that I just didn't want to deal with anything that reminded me of basketball, because at that time I was done with basketball. I didn't keep any basketball shoes. I don't know where my jerseys are at from college, girl. I was
so
like,
you played college basketball?
At University of Arkansas.
Oh, wow. SEC.
Yep.
You weren't at Tennessee, but it's the SEC.
We beat Tennessee, but I wasn't there. You're right. But we beat them.
That's real. So, like she said, to echo, a lot of times in the black community, I want to read off some statistics for you all, but African Americans, according to obesity, stateofobesity.org, African Americans, men are 69% more obese than their non-African American counterparts. So 69% more obese than white and Hispanic. Like, those numbers are crazy. And then for women, it's 82%. So it's something in the black community. And I want to get your take on it, because I have my own perspective. But why do you think it is, Ashley, in our community that we're more obese?
Because we put butter on everything, sugar inside of everything. I mean, the food that we eat. But to me it's good. It's good. To everybody it's good. But that's how grandma taught us. When you're making that cake, you got to make sure you got enough butter, you got enough sugar. All that stuff is stuff that I eliminated, and I started dropping pounds. But I really feel like it's tradition. It just go on and on and on. When my mama taught me how to cook, I needed butter and sugar. Yeah. And then when her mom taught her, those were some of the ingredients. But that goes along with, gaining weight and getting to that point where you are diabetic.
You're right. So then, do you miss that food, or have you gone back to that food?
A little bit. I have went back. I still don't do well because I was on that diet and I was on it like really strict. Like, I felt like my stomach probably shrunk some. And now if I eat like McDonald's or fried food, like, girl, I want to throw up and stuff. So I haven't went back all the way, but I drink more than just water now and stuff like that or whatever. But I absolutely do miss it. And I tell people all the time, like when I show them my before and after picture, I'm like, that girl was happy. You know why? Because I was eating whatever I wanted to eat. Now this girl over here miserable because I can't eat what I want to eat. Like, I can't go to McDonald's anymore and go get a double cheeseburger and stuff like I used to. So it just don't taste good anymore, but I miss it.
Do you make your husband eat that way?
Oh, absolutely not. When I was losing, he was gaining, okay? He's gained about 70 pounds, and I've lost it. So, no, he eats whatever he wants to eat.
Okay. And so, again, to just make you all aware, some of the health risks that are associated with obesity are heart disease and stroke, high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, gallbladder disease, and gallstones, the gout. See, a lot of times in the community we joke about somebody getting the gout, but it's serious. These are serious issues. Breathing problems, sleep apnea, asthma. These are issues that we're dealing with, or should I say not dealing with, because we continue to eat the things that we want to eat. And body image. Again, that's the name of the episode, but what specifically is body image? Body image is when you look in the mirror or when you think of yourself, is how you perceive yourself. So the amount of attractiveness you would attribute to yourself when you think about yourself, that's your body image. So can it be positive? Can it be negative? Can you, in your opinion, Ashley, do you feel that someone can have a positive body image?
Yeah, I feel like I have one.
Okay.
When I look in the mirror now, and I had it even when I was 356. I had the image of what I saw on the outside. I still love it because I'm confident in who I am. So I think you can have a positive outlook on your body image. I believe so.
If you wouldn't have had that scare when you went to the doctor, would you have changed?
Absolutely not.
So you said that that girl was happy and this girl is not.
Well, I'm not gonna say I'm not happy, girl, but I'm saying like as far as the food, like you said, I miss the food. I miss eating cheap for one.
Yeah.
Okay, because I could go get a double cheeseburger for $1 and go get a large sweet tea for $1. Now, I'm gonna have to change it and I gotta get a chicken sandwich, and the chicken sandwiches are $3, $4, $5. So yes, I was a little bit more happier then. I tell people I'm miserable now, but I'm not. But it's just the simple fact that I just can't eat some of the stuff that I used to. Like Thanksgiving at home with my mom, like when she cooks, I'm like, oh, I can barely eat. So
So with body image, also just kind of doubling back, some things that a lot of people may not realize is that body image, something else helps shape your body image, and it's the experiences you had, it's memories that you've had. Those are things that kind of weigh into it, weigh into you being able to assess what you think about yourself. So if you see something on TV and you remember you were with someone and they said, man, that girl she's fine, or that dude is fine, then that can make you think about it when that person is not there and you look in the mirror, then you look nothing like that image that they attributed beauty to. And again, fellas, body image does not just pertain to ladies. I read a quote that said, it's just as difficult to be Ken as it is to be Barbie. But a lot of times you all don't really deal with how you feel about your weight and the person that you see looking back in the mirror. But it's easy for men, and if there are any men that want to disagree, please feel free to hit me up on any of my social sites. But it's easier for you to put that off on women and say, nah, man, I'm not thinking about that, or I'm not looking at another dude. I don't care what he looked like. I'm straight. But it's more than just that. How do you see yourself? So, Ashley, if you could talk to us about what your self-esteem was. I know you said that you were very confident, but when you were going through the process of losing, was it only about health, or did you feel like you wanted to look better? Because you said that you moved to Atlanta and people place high emphasis on what you look like here.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, it was more so just about health. To be honest, it wasn't what other people had to say about me, because I stayed. I'm not gonna say I stayed, but I had a boyfriend at the time that loved me, and then my husband, staying with a man, girl. But then my husband, he was with me when I was that size, and he always told me, how beautiful I was. And I don't know, I guess because I am tall, I'm 6'2", everybody's like, girl, you were not 356. Like, yes, I was, but I'm so tall, so they're like, oh, you wore it well. But it was really just health for me. But I wanted to go back to you saying about the men. I think the reason that men don't kind of get that backlash from it is because you can be a big man and they're like, oh, that's perfect, we're gonna put you in football, or something like that. For women, we don't have those type of outlets. It's like, if you're a big woman, if you look at yourself and you're 350 something pounds, it's like, what can you be useful for?
Yeah, what can you do?
Right, but as far as a man, it's like, that's a perfect. I know my father just had, well, not just, but like 7 years ago, now he has a big 7-year-old, and he's like, and all the coaches like, we can't wait till he gets to high school. We're gonna have him playing football. We're gonna have him in the post, playing basketball. Yeah. So it's like, when they're that size, they don't get that. So when they look in the mirror, it's like money. But when we look in the mirror and we're big, and the world is looking at us like, oh, look how big she is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are we gonna put it to use for? And it's not really a lot of stuff we can put ours to use for. But overall, I just think that I did it for health reasons, but once I started seeing the transition of me losing weight and more compliments and stuff like that, it motivated me a little bit more.
Okay. And do you feel that for women who maybe weren't as confident and they're trying to lose weight, what made you feel as confident? Because if you look at what society says is beautiful, or what society says is desirable, and how you should look, and this is who's being casted and things like that. So what would you, I guess, tell them if you could, kind of instill something in them or give them some pointers to help their confidence while they're going through that process?
Well, first and foremost, you just have to do it for yourself.
Okay.
You can't do it for anybody else, because once you have accepted it and you decide that you're going to do it and you make it a lifestyle change for yourself, then you're going to be happy with the slow changes. You're going to be happy with everything. So, you can't worry about what society says. Like, I feel like I would have still been doing the same thing if I was the same girl I was a year and a half ago, because this just happened. This transition just happened. But a year and a half ago, I would have still been doing the same thing because, I wanted to do it for myself. I didn't want to do it because I wanted to get out in radio or model or anything like that. Like, I just really wanted to do it for myself. So I feel like if that's the first thing and the main thing, if somebody, they're trying to lose weight, if a girl, she really is struggling with losing weight, it's 9 times out of 10, I think it's because they're trying to do it because of what people have said about them. They're not doing it for themselves. So that has to be number one.
Okay, so have you received more opportunities now that you've lost weight?
I have.
Okay.
I have.
Okay, so then can you say if it wouldn't have been for the doctor's scare that I wouldn't have changed?
Well,
what were you doing before?
I was teaching at an alternative school.
Okay.
I was a teacher at alternative school back home in Sanford, Florida. And then I came here, but I came here really to kind of pursue like my dreams of what I wanted to do, get into acting and things like that. So I can say it because when you look at the field that I was going into, there's Monique's and Precious, like the girl Gabby from the movie Precious. There are some plus size girls and stuff, so I didn't feel like it was going to stop me. But since when I did lose weight, a lot of model agencies and people like that just start reaching out to me, like, can you model for us? Can you do the runway? So it was stuff that I wasn't getting before, but that's what I'm saying. It was other people reaching out to me, but what I actually wanted to do, no matter if I was the old Ashley or the new Ashley, I still was going to be able to accomplish it because I'm who I am regardless. 356, 220, I'm Ashley, so I feel like it's me and being true to myself, whoever I speak with. If that's the plan that God has designed for me, it was going to happen regardless.
So if you had a daughter and this was, her struggle, how would you get her to see that I see that this is what you're seeing on television? I see when you watch a video, you're seeing thin women or in movies, and even though there are more plus size women being casted, the selection is still very slim. So how would you tell her it doesn't matter what you're seeing, it's what you are on the inside? Because like I put on the quote, it's being able to say, I see that person in that mirror, but I like me for the aspects that I can't see on the outside. So how would you instill that in her if she said, Mom, I want to follow in your footsteps?
Well, I would try my hardest from the beginning to not let her get to that. Because, I got to create a habit and a healthy lifestyle from the beginning. But if she did get to that point, I would show her K. Michelle. Do you know what happened with K. Michelle?
What?
She almost died, girl. All that silicone and all that stuff in her body. Like, you're trying to fit in with everybody else and you're about to die. So, boo, look, if you want to die, trying to get all this stuff pumped inside of you to try to look like whatever you see on TV, then, no, I'm just playing, but I just wanted to throw a little shade to her. But I just, for real, I would just motivate her, just like Candy, her daughter just, she's starting like a YouTube series or whatever because she struggled with weight. She was 220 and she's only like 13 or 14 and now she's 165. So I feel like the best thing to do is just get them in the gym because you can have a fun workout. Yeah. Like, I've never done a workout that was, besides basketball, but when I started, none of my workouts were where I dreaded it. I love going to Zumba. I love going to yoga. So you can have a fun workout and then still make it fun for them where they want to do it every single day. So,
Do you have the same, because of your process, that's a lot of dedication. And I think that it probably helped the fact that you were a basketball player, college basketball player. You saw the end result, even though it wasn't right there in front of you, you were able to see it past the trees and said, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to go for it. So for you to be that dedicated, that kudos to you for that as well. How do you feel about women who go under the knife and say, I'm not gonna do that. I don't care what Ashley said.
Well, I have some
absolutely
friends that actually have had like gastric bypass, and you know, and whatever if they feel like that's right for them, because I have one friend that barely works out, so, and she never worked out, and she decided to do that. And if that's what you want to do, then you know, kudos to you. You can go ahead and have surgery, but I just say try first. You know, at least try to get in the gym, and if you see nothing is happening and you have this opportunity where you can have surgery to help you lose weight, then by all means go ahead and do it. But I just feel like you got to try. You got to at least try with 21 days. I have a 21-day challenge because everybody asks me like, how did you lose all the weight? So, you know, I send it over to them. It's nothing. Just send it, and I tell them all the meal plans, everything I ate, all the workouts for 21 days and everything. And I'm like, just try this first. Before you do anything, try this first.
So, Ashley, let me ask you, is your food bland now? Like, if somebody were to go, if I were to go and eat at your house, would I be like, this tastes like somebody who wasn't someone's mother of our... That's how your food tastes now?
Right. It does. It does. And my husband says it all the time. He's like, I'm not eating the greens. Like, you didn't even put salt, like no vinegar, nut pepper. Like, no. So I do. The seasoning is none. I hardly put any seasoning. I may put like...
Have your taste buds, like... I mean, have you grown accustomed to it? Like, it's an acquired taste. Like, it's good to you?
Mm-hmm. It is. It's absolutely. I feel like my food is good. You probably have tasted it and be like, girl, what is this? Get this out my face. Like, you probably would feel like that because I know my husband, but I feel like the food is good. Now, my problem now is like I love snacks and sweets. So I can eat Laffy Taffies and Twizzlers all day long and bacon cheddar chips. I eat them all day long, and that's why I've, gained a little weight since I've lost. But other than that, like if I'm eating real food, like no, I don't like the seasoning on it. It makes me really like throw up. If I ate a McDonald's burger, girl,
be done for.
Done.
What role do you think mental health, or what parallel do you think mental health and body image or weight loss play together?
It plays a big role because of the simple fact that, with people killing themselves, and, it goes back to society. Society wants you to look a certain type of way, and society thinks that you're supposed to look a certain type of way. So with people that look in the mirror, like you were saying, and they see this person that they dislike, I think honestly that's like a mental illness. But then it's a mental illness, but then also I feel like they may not have anybody in their corner still telling them that they love them. Like, I think it's way deeper than what we may think, because that's why I said I was confident in who I was. Because I still had somebody telling me, you're so beautiful, and a lot of people don't have that. So, yeah.
I think the aspect of it, why it's so prevalent in our community, is you got to look at things. Epigenetic inheritance is where something that wouldn't genetically be in you becomes a part of you because it's been passed down throughout the ranks. So if you look at it from a slavery standpoint, when we were in the houses behind the plantation getting the scraps basically because that's all that was left for us. So you're talking about pig feet, noses or snouts, all of these things that were having to be eaten, and then finding different ways to cook it in order to make it delectable, and then it just got passed down, like you said, passed down to the point where that's what we enjoy eating. And it's not a big secret that stuff isn't good for you. And another thing that plays into it is that when you have people who have access, it's actually a statistic, access to education and resources, they tend to eat better. And if you think about it for yourself, when you find out about vegan recipes out there that taste just as good as non-vegan meals, and you have the resources, the finances to be able to afford it, then you can eat healthier.
Right.
And I think that's why because like you said, it's cheap to eat unhealthy.
Exactly.
But you'll have a lot of people, if you're listening out there, healthy people who say, because I can go to the farmer's market and with $10 get 3 ears of corn, a bag of grapes, 2 cucumbers, a tomato. My sister's one of them. Like she trains and she is a huge advocate. You say, all right, give me $10. I'll bring you back a cart full of groceries. No, you can, when you're out, you can't stop. If you're driving, you're on the road, you can't just stop.
It's the convenience.
Yeah. You can, that convenience will kill you.
Yeah.
In more ways than one. Quote me on that one. But it will, man, and that's something that, like I said, we have to get better as a community, and just realizing that this stuff, yes, it tastes good, but the effects are lasting and are harmful. Like you said, you had people losing toes. So how is your health now?
My health, it's perfect. Well, I'm not gonna say it's perfect. Well, it is, because I'm not pre-diabetic, none of that. I don't have high blood pressure, none of that. So, and that kind of motivated, I think, my husband a little bit too, because he doesn't have any health issues, but he knows, like, you know, if you keep eating that type of food, and my husband is Haitian, right? So, and I like to joke, and I don't want to be disrespectful or anything, but I tell him the food that y'all eat, like, is not good. Y'all eat fried pork and rice and stuff like this, and you know, and I'm like, that's just like the scraps that was left over, and you know, people get rice because rice is cheap, but it's not good for you at all. Like brown rice, I guess you can eat that or something like that, but they eat white rice, and you know, and all this sauce on top of it, and fried pork. And like you were saying, it's just like the scraps that was left over, and you got to figure out how you're going to cook it. Oh, we have little pieces of pork, let's fry it and make it into a dish called griot or something like that. So my health is good as of right now, and that's the main thing, that's the only thing that I care about. How people look at me and how they see me, I don't really care. As long as I'm healthy, then I'm good. And my mom's a nurse.
Okay.
So with my mom being a nurse, even when I was gaining weight, she's like, every day, girl, you need to go to the gym, you need to go to the gym. And then she sees that I gained like 20 pounds now, and she's like, girl, you need to go back to the gym. So you know that you can get this and you can get that. And I'm like, girl,
yeah, man, but that's, education is key. And I think that, you know, you going to the doctor, even though you said that you still would have came and you wanted to pursue your dreams. I've heard you say on more occasions than one, what God has for you is for you. So I feel that it was meant for you to go and find out that report, because even though you could have had opportunities being plus size, you're getting more.
Oh, girl, I'm still plus size. Let's be clear.
Okay.
I never want to be a little girl.
She's plus-ish there. But smaller, definitely smaller. When she showed me the before and after, I was like, that's not you. She was like, look at the tattoo right there. I'm like, that is you. Like, I wish I could show the picture, you know, to you guys, because it is. The work that you did, the dedication was phenomenal. So like we said, you transitioned into new things here in Atlanta. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing in the city.
So I am on a radio station, which is IBNX. I have my own show. It's called This Weekend Show. It's Monday through Friday. And then I'm also in another show on IBNX, which is called The Round Table. So it's kind of like set up like The Talk, and it's for girls. I'm on that. But then also, I need everybody to listen and come. I'm in the hit stage play, which is In-Laws from Hell, starring Miss Juicy Baby, Sean Santiago, some LA, we have LA cast and all them. So that play is July 28th.
July 28th.
Limited tickets left, so y'all better
get it. Go ahead and get your tickets. Yes, support her. Support. She, like she said, she's doing phenomenal things. She doesn't want to contribute to the fact that she was so disciplined and lost all that weight. But I am going to contribute it to that, because, you know, no shade, no tea against her being, like she said, her trying to get a plus role with her weighing, you know, more than she did now. But just the fact that she's healthier. So it's almost like God can trust you with the blessing, because he knows that you're going to be you're going to be obedient, and you're going to, you know, be in a place to where you have the discipline in order to, you know, go forward with it. So I think that played a huge part in it, girl. So
it did. And then also just me, I can say this. I can say me being a little bit more confident when I step in a room full of other females that's competing for one role. Like, I felt like if they were looking at image, they wouldn't just automatically count me out. Because, so it made me a little bit more confident to reach out to people like, okay, I'm just like these other girls out here. You know what I'm saying? So that played a part in it. But as far as but still, I take it back to what God has for me is for me.
Right. Exactly. So, Ashley, you said that you know, you have all this stuff going for you. You are, I guess, you know, working, trying to build your brand, get your voice out there. what do you think that you contribute to women who were like you, who were trying to lose weight? What, I guess if it were all said and done, what would you feel like you would be leaving, to them as part of your legacy?
I would just be leaving just somebody that's authentic, somebody that's real. I stayed true to me throughout the whole process, and I did it for me. But just me being authentic, I think that's the main thing, and never being thirsty for anything, and just having a goal. Like I'm big on that, and I guess that comes from sports. But if I set a goal, I have to meet it. So just somebody who's driven, who's dedicated, and then, like I said, just as real as possible. And every tip that I give to people, like, I'm not trying to brand it, I'm not trying to make money from it. I'm just trying to inspire somebody and let them know that you can do it. You can do it naturally. You don't have to go under the knife. You don't have to do anything like that. Just set a goal and go for it. So when I give out my 21-day challenge, it's like, what's your email, girl? Here you go. And I give it to them, because it's not, we're women. Yeah. And we're supposed to support each other. Right. And we're supposed to have each other's back. And it's like, girl, if you want to lose a couple of pounds, this is what I did. Here you go. I don't have to sell it to you. I'm not with all that,
Do people treat you differently now that you've lost the weight?
No. I can say no. Well, I wasn't trying to get into, like, acting and stuff like that before. But as far as family or friends or just random people, I'm still getting, girl, oh my gosh, look at that girl, she's so tall. So I still get that regardless of where I'm at, But as far as people treating me differently, I don't think so, because I still act the same way that I act right now. Like, if you would have met me a year and a half ago, you probably wouldn't even have saw the weight. Because I am just like this regardless, 24/7, 365. So I don't think I get treated.
I think that's an interesting thing that you just said, that because a lot of times we will project ourselves the way we feel about ourselves. Mm-hmm. So if you didn't walk into a room shy and cowering, I'm the big girl, don't look at me, that's going to make people look at you. Mm-hmm. Because you're trying to cower and make yourself smaller. But then you go in and you own it. You own who you are. This is me, whatever. If you don't like it, that's fine too. I'm going to still be me at the end of the day. Then you're right. Then people will just gravitate towards that and not feel like, we have to ostracize and cast her to the side because we like her personality. There's something about her that's there. And then so, a lot of times, men, brothers, all races, talking to you here. I know the numbers are high for African American males, but men in general, that's something that a lot of times it can be difficult for you to kind of check yourself as it pertains to your feelings, how you're feeling about yourself in a certain way. But you can project that. If you feel that you are overweight, you unknowingly, you can make the woman you're with feel that she is overweight. And I want you to really think about that, because then if I'm feeling a certain type of way, I can project that onto someone else, whether I mean to or not, just because I'm feeling that way about myself. So again, you have to do these mental health checks within yourself, making sure that you're not trying to put something off on someone else because that's how you feel about yourself. Also, actually wanted to ask you, when you were going through your journey, your process of weight loss, did you plateau, and then how did you handle that?
I didn't. Like I said, I was so focused. That was my main thing, just being focused. But I can say if someone does, though, you have to just kind of it's like with life, It's the same thing. I think of it. It's just like life. When you go through stuff, it may be some hiccups, it may be some detours, it may be some, but you just can't just stop. You gotta set a goal, and if you really are trying to reach the goal, then nothing should be able to stop you. Nothing at all. So I didn't have any hiccups, no.
So what were your goals that you set for yourself, as far as, did you set it from a weekly standpoint? I want to lose 2 pounds. Or was it goals like, I want to just make sure I stick to this water only this week, and I'm taking it one day at a time?
Well, initially when I started, I was 356. So I said, you know what? I got to get out of 300s. So I worked until I got out to 300s. And then when I was 299, I was like, oh, let me have a drink. But then I was like, no, I've come too far. So then
you thought that drink was going to just throw you back over the edge.
It was going to take me back to the 300s or whatever. So then it was just like like little small goals. Like I said, the first one was get out the 300s. The second one was like, okay, now I want to get to these pants. So I bought a pair of pants, and it was like, when I can fit these size 18s, then I'm good to go. So then I got there, and then after that, it's just like, once you just start losing the weight and you see it, it feels good at this point. So now I don't really have to set a goal. It's like, it's a lifestyle. I love working out. I love the way that I'm eating. I'm feeling good. I don't have to pump my asthma pump anymore. You know, little stuff like that. So now I'm feeling good about myself. So, hey, it's a lifestyle. This is what's happening. So there was no goals after that. Once I got to the size 16 pants.
Okay. I want you to give your email address so that our listeners or anyone can reach out to you so that they can get the 21-day plan.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So if you want that, my email address is Ashley, ASHLEYD, as in Delta, McCray, MCCRAY. The number is 23 at gmail.com. That's Ashley D. McCray 23 at gmail.com. Or you can just hit me up on Instagram, which is @Ashley_Danielle, and tell me your email address, and I'll send it to you.
And you'll send it to you. That's awesome, because you know a lot of times when we find a secret, we don't like to get it. You know, we don't like to give it out to other people.
Right.
And that's the whole crabs in a barrel mentality. Like, it worked for me. I'm not about to give it to you because I want to be the one, you know, to maintain this awesome thing that I have here. So that's great, man. And that's
or you know what?
People.
Everybody wants to make money from something. Because a lot of people ask me, like, why didn't you brand this? Like, you need to brand this. You should be selling this. No, I'm just trying to help people get to where I was. Because, you know, it didn't cost me anything except for a gym membership. But other than that, it's like, no. If I can help somebody, save somebody's life, get them from being pre-diabetic, or, you know, build their confidence up a little bit, I don't need to charge you for it, you know? So that's a lot of people they just want to make money from everything. Like, oh, I got this secret or something. Like, girl, brand it. You know how many times I've been told that? They're like, oh, let me see this picture, girl. You need to brand this. You need to be making money. No, I'm not going to do that. So you can forget it. You can get it for free, you guys. Just hit me up on Instagram, email, whatever, and I will send it for free. It may not work the way that it works for me, but it's just some tips to give you 21 days, mix the diet around and mix the workouts around, and you'll see results. I mean, it's just, a lot of people don't know. You know, a lot of people that I gave it to, they don't know how to put together a workout. But I just do, because I had professional trainers my entire life. You know what I'm saying? So I just picked up I picked up a book that I had from the University of Arkansas from one of my trainers, and I put some of those workouts in it, and I was doing those workouts as well. So, you know, I got y'all.
Okay, so is that something that you want to also add to the list of everything that Ashley Danielle does? Like, possibly going into training or, you know, coaching to get women, or not just women, to get people to get serious about their health?
No. It's not. Only reason why, now let me tell you, I did coach basketball, so I love coaching. But as far as when it comes to just like the health tip, I can motivate you, like, you know, on the low, or, you know, just write me and I can talk to you about it. But it's like making it something else that I'm gonna do like every day, or I don't know. I don't know what God has for me.
Right, exactly.
But if I had to choose,
don't shut it out.
Don't
shut it out. Along the list of runway modeling, acting, stage play, and movies. Are you in movies as well?
Yes.
Okay. Where can we see you?
What do you mean? Like in the movies?
Yeah. Are you?
Oh, well, I've just been doing kind of extras right now.
Okay.
So extras, and shout out to Imagine World Studios. So anybody that wants to get into acting, if you go to Imagine World Studios, it's in Marietta. It's actually down the road from here. That's how I kind of got into film, which film is a lot easier than stage plays. But yeah, so that's why I started with that. And I've just been doing like extra for videos and like, you know, things like Black Lightning, stuff like that, or whatever. So
okay.
Not really a lead role yet in movies.
Yet. It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
I'm gonna be on TV though soon.
Yeah. You're so silly. Yeah, she gonna be on TV. We gonna speak. We gonna speak for you like VH1, something like that.
No, I said we gonna be on TV.
But yes, again, Ashley, I want to thank you so much for sitting down with me and having this conversation.
Absolutely.
Like I said, we met in just by chance, and just for two two women who were like, we want to do something, and we made this possible. And when you told me your story, and I said, man, we got to get that on, because a lot of times people see it as a far-fetched dream. You know, they're especially on Instagram. They're flipping through Instagram. They're seeing these bodies. Some of them are probably superimposed or filtered, but they're seeing it, and they're seeing it in movies and TV, and they're like, how can I get that? And a lot of them are going down the wrong path in order to try to receive that or achieve that, and it's causing mental health issues, because it's causing depression when I'm going to the gym or I'm eating clean and I'm not seeing the scale go down. You know, and so we got to get past that, and like you said, just be, you know, thankful for the small, you know, the small wins that you see. You know, the scale doesn't always have to move. If you are eating clean or just eating healthier, not putting salt on everything, not adding butter in everything, not cooking with lard anymore, not frying stuff, you're doing these things, this is still, you know, small wins that will add up over time, because, you know, you can be taken not just towards healthier living and getting that statistic to change. Again, that number is very alarming, and so if you or someone you know feel that you may be pre-diabetic, actually, what are some of the signs, just real quick, that you kind of had to where it led you going to the doctor, and the doctor gave you that pre-diabetic?
Well, asthma, like I said, I was using that all the time, and I never had asthma, but like in college they always made us keep an asthma pump, but I never had it. But I found myself like walking, and I'm like, oh gosh, I'm getting shortness of breath and things like that, and then I would get like I would get real nauseous or like want to throw up after I finished eating. It was just like I was getting headaches sometimes and dizzy. I'm like, what is going on with me? Like, so, you know, I just went to the doctor. I go to the doctor anyways and get my checkups, but I never had a primary. And that's very important for women. I have my, you know, OBGYN, my gynecologist, whatever, but I never had a primary. I would just go and make sure, you know, that portion is done, but not me and my health.
Yeah.
As far as being diabetic, and if you have high blood pressure and stuff like that. So, you know, I just went and I got a primary, and they came back and they told me that or whatever. But it's just really and truly, it's silent. It's very silent of the symptoms you may have. When you get to the doctor and then they tell you, oh, you got all these issues and stuff, and you're like, I never even, you know, felt anything. Because like one of the girls that's in the play with me, she was just told that she was diabetic, and she's like, I never felt anything, and she's small. She's small as well, like she's a little girl. She's like 5'4", 115 pounds. So, you know, weight doesn't even have anything to do with it. You can be small. You still have to watch what you put in your body. So
that's true, and that's good too. You know, we don't. Well, I feel fine, so I don't need to go to the doctor. But having a checkup in addition to your annual, ladies, is important for you to do to make sure. And why do you think we feel like it's a death sentence when we get told we have diabetes or are pre-diabetic? You didn't, but there are times where people hear that and it's like, oh my God, the world stops.
Because now you start thinking, like, okay, for instance, with my sister, when she's told, like, it can be anything, like the first thing she do is she gets on Google and she Googles it. Yeah. And you know the internet is hell itself. Yeah. So she gets on it and she starts seeing all this stuff that could go wrong. Instead of saying, okay, well, you know, this is what's been told to me, or I'm diagnosed with this, let's try to move forward. But, you know, a lot of people just get even more depressed, and, you know, it's just, or they may have family members that went through it. If I get told that, you know, I have type 1 diabetes, I'm going to start thinking about all the people that I know that went through it, and legs amputated, and toes, and falling out, and all that. So, you know, automatically you just go to a dark zone. So instead of trying to move forward, it just takes you back. So a lot of people don't want to go to the doctor because they don't want to hear anything negative.
Right. So they want to just one day fall out. And then like, oh, now I have no choice. But yeah, that's true. You know, and I think that's another thing that contributes to the obesity. One, you know, you like to eat well, but that's the oxymoron in it. Like, we're eating good, but we're not eating good. You know, and those things play a part. And like I said, stroke, I'm sure we're high up there. Heart disease, you know, high blood pressure, and you know we call it sugar diabetes. But yeah, you know we're up there for those numbers. So you have to take better care of yourself. Again, I want to thank my guest, Ashley. If you want to again highlight some of your platforms that you're on now is your time to do it so that our guests can find you and be on the lookout for what you have going on in the city.
Instagram, which is @Ashley_Danielle. I post everything there, what I have going on. But the main thing that I'm really focused on is a play that I'm in, which is In-Laws from Hell. Once again, it's starring Miss Juicy Baby and Shaw Santiago, Dave Tolliver. It's just a lot. It's a great cast. I'm blessed to be, even a part of that cast as one of the main characters. But just that play, and it's written by Andriana, and she was actually somebody that came on my radio show, and then, like I said, you kind of shoot your shot with people, and the most they can say is no, or she didn't tell me no, and she gave me that little opportunity or whatever, so, big ups to her as well. But just overall, that's the main thing. And like I said, our tickets are selling fast. So 1, 2, 3, 4 people up in here need to be getting a ticket tonight.
Where's it located? Where's it located?
I have the flyers. It's going to be at the Rialto downtown.
Okay.
So that's the main thing. Just make sure you stay on the page. The link is in my bio. Other than that, of course, I'm into radio and acting and all that other stuff. But right now, that's just my main focus. So.
Okay. And Ashley may have something else coming up here soon. So again, just be on the lookout for that. Thank you again, audience, tonight. Again, I want to thank my guest, Miss Ashley Danielle. Sorry for the technical delays, but we will have a new show time, and be on the lookout for the graphic for that. It'll be telling you the new show time and the date that you can catch the show. Again, I'm your host, Tiara Pritchett. That's my and Ashley's Truth Moment. What's yours?